Download, right? The screen?
Yes, sir. Just give me 30 seconds, huh?
Sure.
म्यूट करने का राइट किसके पास है?
मैं इधर है, इधर उनके पास भी
उधर है नहीं, वो नहीं, शेयर होल्डर।
Yes, sir. We are live. You can start the AGM proceedings now. I've made the meeting live.
ओके। Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, Kavita Bhavsar, Company Secretary of Palmalauri and Company Limited. As you are aware, in view of the massive outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing is a norm to be followed. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs, through its circulars, has permitted the holding of the annual general meeting through VC or OAVM without the physical attendance of the members at a common venue. In compliance with the applicable MCA circular, this AGM is being held through video conferencing. For smooth conduct of this AGM, the members may note that this facility to attend the annual general meeting through VC has been provided through the NSDL platform. Members may access the same at https://www.evoting.nsdl.com under shareholders members login by using the remote e-voting credentials. All the mics of the members shall be kept on mute by default. The same would be appropriately unmuted for the shareholders who have registered themselves as speakers. The speaker shareholders are requested to speak only when their respective name is called by the chairman and to wait for their turn as per the serial number given to them. The speaker shareholders are requested to follow the process and guidelines as stated in the mail sent to them. Over to the respected Chairman, Sri Adhika Ratnashekhar, Chairman and Managing Director, Additional Charge, Director Human Resource and Corporate Affairs, and Director Manufacturing Businesses, Additional Charge, Palmalauri and Company Limited. We hereby declare that the quorum being in number, I now request Chairman to commence the meeting.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and on my own behalf, I would like to extend to all of you a warm welcome at 104th AGM of the company. Being held through VC, please note that this AGM is also being live streamed, the link of which is available on the NSDL website. The company secretary informs me that the requisite quorum is present. Hence, I now formally declares this 104th annual general meeting is open. Kindly note that statutory registers as per the applicable provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and any other document referred to in the notice of the AGM along with the explanatory statements are available electronically for inspection by the members, and the same shall remain open and accessible during the continuance of this meeting. Before I take up the agenda meeting, I would like to introduce my colleagues attending the AGM with me from registered office of the company at Calcutta. On my immediate right, Sri Sandeep Das, Director Finance and Chief Financial Officer. To my immediate left is Ms. Kavita Bhavsar, Company Secretary. Next to her is Sri Adip Nath Pal Chaudhary, Director Service Businesses. Now I wish to introduce my colleagues who have joined us remotely through VC. Srimati Perindevi, Government Nominee Director.
Namaskar, sir. I'm Perin Devi, Government Nominee Director, joining in from Delhi. Thank you.
Sri Kushagra Mittal, Government Nominee Director.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome everybody to the AGM today, and I am Kushagra Mittal, Government Nominee Director as well. Thank you.
Sri Arun Kumar, Independent Director, who is also Chairperson of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee.
This is Arun Kumar, Independent Director, joining in. This is Arun Kumar, Independent Director, joining in.
Okay, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you, sir.
Okay, there's something wrong with my video. Okay.
Yeah, no issue, sir. Yeah. Sri Anil Kumar Upadhyay, Independent Director, who is also Chairperson of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee. Sir, you have to unmute yourself, sir. Anil, sir. सर आप बोलिए सर, अनिल सर. नहीं sir, you are still mute. You have to unmute sir.
Okay, I am now audible.
Yes, audible.
Okay, I am Anil Kumar Upadhyay. Good morning. Joining from Independent Director, joining from Delhi.
Thank you sir. Sri Bhagwan Das Shivahare, Independent Director and Chairperson of Audit Committee.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Bhagwan Das Shivare, Independent Director, joining from Rourkela.
Yeah, thank you sir. We also have with us the auditors of the company who have joined us through VC. The notice convening the 104th annual general meeting at the annual accounts and the board's report for the financial year ended 31st March 2021 has been sent to you earlier, and with your consent, I consider the same as read. Distinguished members may be aware that it is no longer mandatory to read the report of the statutory auditors at the meeting. However, in terms of Section 145 of the Companies Act 2013, read with the applicable provisions of the Secretarial Standards on General Meeting, SS2, the qualifications, observations, or other remarks, if any, mentioned in the auditor's report, or comments on financial transactions or matters which have any adverse effect on the functioning of the company are required to be read at the AGM. The statutory auditors, Messrs. B.K. Shroff and company, have not made any such qualifications, observations, or comments in the reports dated 25th June 2021. Further, as per applicable provisions of SS2, the qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks, if any, mentioned in the secretarial audit report which have any material adverse effect on the functioning of the company shall be read at the annual general meeting. Hence, I request the company secretary to read the observations which appears on page 100 of the annual report with respect to the report dated 28th July 2021 of Messrs. M.R. and Associates of company secretaries, being the secretarial audit for the financial year ended 31st March 2021. Yeah.
Reading of comments of Secretarial Auditor. The Board of Directors of the company is constituted with proper balance of executive directors, non-executive directors, and independent directors, subject to the appointment of woman independent director. We further report that the company being a government company, the composition of the Board of Directors is dependent on the direction of Administrative Ministry, and thus the direction in regard to appointment of woman independent director is still awaited. However, fine has been imposed for non-compliance with the provisions of Regulation 17 Regulation 1 of SEBI LODR Regulations 2015 by the stock exchanges, and the company has filed an application to the stock exchanges for waiver of the fine imposed. However, as per the information received from the company, the said fine imposed by BSE Limited for the quarter ended on 30 September 2020 was waived off. Over to Chairman, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to make a few customary observations. Dear esteemed members, a very warm welcome to each one of you at 104th AGM of the company. In view of the COVID-19 pandemic, like last year, we are once again meeting virtually. This AGM is being held through VC OVAM, unlike the physical attendance of the members at a common venue in earlier years. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I thank you all for joining the meeting. We sincerely hope that you and your family members are safe and healthy during these unprecedented times. Please accept my sincere condolences if there has been a bereavement in the families of our members. Before we begin, I would also like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all stakeholders for their continued support and trust placed in this company. The business environment. COVID-19 is once in a century crisis. The virus has posed an unprecedented challenge before the whole world. The global health crisis prompted by COVID-19, in addition to the enormous human toll, has engendered the largest economy shock the world economy has witnessed in the last century. The pandemic and associated lockdown measures led to a de facto shutdown of a significant portion of the global economy, thereby triggering a global recession this year. The pandemic-induced lockdown led to local, regional, and global supply disruptions, hitting economy activity, rendering a first-order supply shock. This is in turn has led to a demand shock both through disruptions in the labor market, which affected household income, and through the precautionary motive to save, which stemmed from the uncertainty amidst the health crisis. The manufacturing sector was hit hard in the first quarter of the year under review, but has since picked up. Though mining still remains impacted, construction and services sector were hit the hardest due to the pandemic-induced requirements of social distancing and minimizing of personal interaction. Despite the global pandemic, India's agriculture has remained the silver lining and have been recovering steadily. Government consumption and net exports have cushioned the growth from diving further down. The government launched major structural reforms in agricultural markets, labor laws, and definition of MSMEs. The COVID-19 pandemic has underscored the need for a resilient logistics sector that can respond to emergencies and supply chain disruptions. Various infrastructure initiatives like Bharatmala, Pariyojana, Sagarmala, dedicated freight corridors, multimodal logistics are expected to give impetus to the logistics industry. There had been decline in global petroleum prices during financial year 2020-21, and this was accompanied by increased excise duty levied on petroleum products. The fall in petroleum oil lubricants exports was largely driven by the softening of international crude oil prices, which plunged in Q1 financial year 2021 by minus 54% and remained muted by minus 28.7% by Q3 financial year 2021 compared to the previous year. The export of leather, including leather products like footwear, garments, and travel goods, have reduced significantly from rupees 3,209.71.08 crores in financial year 1920 to rupees 1,618.78 crores in financial year 2020-21. Recently, the government of India has taken various initiatives under Atmanirbhar Abhiyan to enhance the domestic production of steel, such as inclusion of specialty steel, incorporating 4 different product categories for incentives under the production linked incentive PLI scheme, offering steel to MSMEs that are members of Engineering Export Promotion Council at export parity price under the duty drawback scheme of DGFT. Measures to provide preference to domestically produced iron and steel in government procurement, where aggregates estimate of iron and steel products exceeds rupees 25 crores, protecting the industry from unfair trade through appropriate remedial measures, including imposition of anti-dumping duty and countervailing duty on the products in which unfair trade practices were adopted by other countries. Industrial packaging, SBU IP. Out of 70 players in India, Bamalari and Company Limited is a market leader in the industrial packaging industry with a market share of 34% of SBU IP, operates through 6 manufacturing plants on pan-India basis, which includes the state-of-art facility at Navi Mumbai. Bamalari's industrial packaging is acclaimed for superior product quality, high reliability in supplies, modern manufacturing systems through customer-centric experienced personnel. It enjoys a high brand value, large, diverse and growing customer base across India and exports markets. Its focus on continuous improvement, quality assurance, innovation and sharp focus on sustainability and HSE helps in having an edge over competition. There are different types of high quality products being manufactured in this SBU, ranging from open head, tight head, plain, lacquered, composite, galvanized, tail, necked in and conical drums, catering to diverse industry segments and to the best in class customers in these segments. At an estimated market potential of 280,000 crores, the Indian packaging industry is growing with around 5 to 6% CAGR. There are 2 broad segments, industrial and consumer packaging, and subsegments such as rigid and flexible. Rigid industrial packaging can be further segmented based on package size, type of packing, material of construction, etc. Mild steel drum of 210-liter capacity is a part of rigid packaging and is used for industrial applications in the chemicals, lubricants, fruits and transformer oil industries. Steel drums are utilized for safe packaging and transportation of liquid and semi-liquid pulp, greases, powders, chemicals. The industry has higher capacity compared to the market demand, leading to intense competition in the marketplace. Lubricants, chemicals, transfer oils and fruit pulp are the major segments, contributing to approximately 90% of the SBU sales. During the year 2020-21, our Osoti plant was rated in silver category in the National Green Manufacturing Challenge 2021. Bamalari rated silver rating from EcoVadis, a global solution provider, which partners with 300 plus leading multinational organizations to reduce risk across supply chain and drive innovation in their sustainable procurements. The SBU closed its manufacturing plant at Calcutta due to low market demand in eastern India. SBU IP has been showing consistent growth in volume, turnover, profitability and profits. However, COVID-19 led the overall compressed demand across industry segments, with sales volume under pressure. In spite of the adverse market situation, the SBU was able to close the financial year 2020-21 with healthy profits. During the year, the SBU maintained a healthy profitability despite decrease in volumes. The SBU improved its overall efficiency through continuous operational excellence across various manufacturing units. The COVID-19 pandemic situation and lockdowns are creating general uncertainty for overall industry growth and market demand. However, it is expected that the GDP would grow strongly in the financial year 2021-22 with revival in demand. The SBU expects recovery of business in 21-22. The SBU anticipates significant growth in the coming years, with the biggest drivers being the chemicals, transformer oils, and lube segments. The SBU has plans to aggressively expand in the export segment. Now I will talk about greases and lubricants. Bamalari pioneered grease manufacturing in India in 1934 at Sevri, Mumbai, and 1937 at Calcutta. With about 8 decades of manufacturing experience, Bamaral greases are the leaders in their segment, in their categories. With less than 2% market share, brand Bamaral has an excellent opportunity to grow. The business of SBU GNL may be divided into contract manufacturing, direct sales, channel sales, automotive, and industrial. The SBU witnessed 30% growth in channel sales as compared to last year in spite of a countrywide lockdown on account of the COVID-19 pandemic in April and May of the financial year, and cutthroat competition and aggressive brand promotional activity done by the MNC companies. While other PSU oil companies played on huge discounts to keep their volume intact, however, the small pack sales have registered growth over financial year 2019-20, and there has been an increase in retail outlets selling Bamaral brand, which has contributed to better profitability. The Bamaral brand was launched in the Nepal market, and SBU intends to sell 300 kiloliters in financial year 2021-22 in this market. SBU GNL has pan-India operations with 3 manufacturing plants in Calcutta, Silvassa, and Chennai. Due to long presence in the market, the brand has a positive brand image in grease and specialties. During the year under review, the SBU has witnessed a marginal degrowth in its top line as compared to last year, triggered by the countrywide lockdown on account of the COVID-19 pandemic in April and May 2020. Consequently, there has been a degrowth in its bottom line, which has also been adversely impacted by an unprecedented spike in base oil prices and other raw materials in the second half of the year. The SBU worked out strategies in the perspective of product substitution, cost-effective formulations, value addition, biodegradable products, etc. to combat the challenge of margins in the coming financial year. Chemicals, SBU Chemicals. Bamalari entered into leather chemicals business in 1983 by taking up manufacture of synthetic fat liquors in Chennai. Based on indigenous technology, Bamalari manufactures end-to-end leather chemicals under the brand Bamal, Balsin, Balchem, and Balfin. As its modern manufacturing facility at Chennai, the company has also forayed into finishing chemicals. Apart from leather chemicals business, the SBU is also entering into other synergy chemicals such as textile chemicals and intermediate for agrochemical business. There are 3 stages of leather processing such as beam house, wet end, and finishing. The SBU is stronger in wet end operations, where it is holding considerable market share among the Indian players in India. This year, the SBU entered into finishing chemical segment and has launched its own manufactured finishing chemicals. SBU Chemicals now has an advantage to win more customers with a wider product basket. There is huge scope in leather chemicals market, and thus SBU has its plan to tap the market with both existing and new products. SBU Chemicals is a market leader in the fat liquor segment and significant market shareholder in the Syntan segment. This SBU has enough opportunities to grow in other segments like finishing and beam house. In terms of market potential in India, the southern region holds 44%, east is at 23%, and north is at 33%. Each region is manufacturing different products. Safety gloves in east, footwear and leather articles in south, upholstery and garments in north. The important new products which were launched last year are finishing chemicals, mainly binders, lacquers, and hot melt wax. The SBU also entered into the leather tanning process with marketing of basic chrome sulfate, and based on good response from customers, it targeted the high end of this segment successfully. The SBU also forayed into textile chemicals by launching synergy products like textile binder, wetting agents, and is in the process of including major range of textile chemicals in its product basket, and is now establishing infrastructure for textile chemicals. SBU Chemicals has introduced new chemicals in beam house segment like wetting agents, basic chrome sulfate, and SBU Chemicals also launched a range of finishing chemicals at its modern manufacturing facility. The SBU has well-equipped technical service center in all major leather manufacturing clusters in India and renders high quality technical to the tanneries. technical service to the tanneries. The SBU developed an eco-friendly metal-free tanning process with gluteryl hydrate and which has been popular now in the market. With a positive brand image, strong technical service team and increased product basket, the SBU has got many opportunities to improve the business in coming years. In spite of low demand of leather products, footwear due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Indian exports down by 27%. This SBU is able to reach 97% of volume of previous year. SBU Logistics Infrastructure LI. The logistics industry is considered a crucial sector to boost international trade as a consequence of digitization and globalization. Logistics, being the backbone of Indian economy, is witnessing transformation in terms of digitization and advanced technology to ensure quick, efficient and economical transport of goods. Advancements in digital technologies, changing consumer preferences due to e-commerce, government reforms and shift in service sourcing strategies are expected to lead the transformation of the Indian logistics ecosystem. SBU Logistics Infrastructure comprises of container freight stations typically set up in the vicinity of ports, warehousing and distribution, temperature control warehouse and integrated check posts. Presently, the company has 3 state-of-the-art CFSs located in Nauseva, Chennai and Calcutta. The company's warehousing and distribution facility are fully operational at Calcutta and Coimbatore locations. In addition to this, a warehousing and distribution facility is being operated out of Andhra Pradesh Medtech Zone Limited AMTZ on build, operate, manage and maintain BOM basis over an area of 80,000 square feet, which includes a cold storage area of 5,000 square feet since February 2020. The SBU has 3 cold chains operating at Hyderabad, Rai, Haryana and Patalganga, Maharashtra. The company has almost completed setting up a cold chain at Bhubaneswar, Odisha, which shall be operational by financial year 2021-22. To manage end-to-end supply chain of the cold chain operations, the SBU is also operating with 18 numbers of 4MT capacity reefer vehicles on pan-India basis. All the reefer vehicles are enabled with GPS for 24/7 monitoring of its location and online temperatures. The cold chain business is emerging as potential growth area for the company, and therefore to ensure adequate focus on the business, this vertical will be operated as an independent SBU termed as Logicold Cold Chain Solutions. India being an agro-based country and with government schemes giving thrust to this segment, cold chain is looked upon as a sunrise sector of India. With an increase in demand of dairy, fruits, vegetable and pharma products in both the domestic and international markets, our cold chain business has been rightly aligned to serve these segments. The cold chain unit at Rai was awarded for best practices in cold storage by CII in the 5th Cold Chain Awards. Our cold chain and reefer vehicles are being used for storage of COVID-19 vaccines for the vaccine manufacturers, namely Bharat Biotech and Dr. Reddy's Lab. The Covaxin and Sputnik 5 vaccines are being stored and distributed from the cold chain unit in Hyderabad. The company is also working on the management of integrated checkpost operations, has already started managing the ICP at Jogbani and Raxaul, Bihar. Both the units performed well as compared to last year. Besides, the SBU is in the process of assessing feasibility of operating other ICPs at different locations. The LI vertical is awarded Champion of Supply Chain Management 2020 by the Economic Times. Warehousing activity continued to perform well during the year due to better utilization of space, and the business segment of temperature controlled warehouses has also started looking up. SBULI is planning to expand its footprints in the warehousing and distribution industry by setting up an additional warehousing facility at Calcutta during the financial year 21-22. Now I'll talk about logistics services SBU. SBULS. The logistics industry in India, considered to be the lifeline of the country, holds immense significance as it connects various market suppliers and customers dotted across the country, and has now been finally embedded as an integral part of the national GDP value chain. The Indian logistics industry is highly fragmented with a large number of unorganized players. The global freight forwarding market contracted by 8.7% in 2020, recording its worst year since the financial crisis as a result of the pandemic. Despite the segment being highly fragmented with a large number of unorganized players, Bamala's credibility as a public sector unit, strong pan-India presence, worldwide network of associates, robust technology, and the transition of customers towards organized players with skills, expertise, and financial strength shall help it to remain entrenched in the market and carry the brand of most reliable service provider. Designing an adaptive and resilient supply chain shall be the key factors to tackle the COVID-19 butterfly effect. During the year, despite severe disruptions on account of the pandemic, the SBU achieved top line and bottom line growth around 40% and 38% respectively as compared to the previous year. The growth was driven by incremental business in nearly all activities of freight forwarding, notably in ocean freight and air export activities. The SBU was able to retain its major Government of India and CPSU customers and was also able to initiate some new activities from those contracted customers. The SBU is now focusing on the private sector, especially in air export, and also eyeing the business of handling project cargo of private customers. With increased focus on healthcare and government reforms to boost infrastructure and manufacturing units, the SBU aims at pharma and engineering goods EXIM market in the coming years. Major focus has been emphasized to enhance customer delight by providing one-stop logistics solutions, aligning logistics services along with infrastructure and 3PL services. The SBU is in the process of implementing some new IT initiatives like online customer survey feedback and customized IT solutions for faster, dedicated and focused time-bound service and delivery. The SBU has been working closely with the worldwide agents and associates. The SBU is taking adequate steps to mitigate the challenges through its established and growing global associate network and offering clients single window logistics solution under one umbrella. The SBU has revamped its existing technology and has plans to further upgrade it to in the near future to meet future business challenges. The outlook for Indian freight forwarders is a positive, primarily on account of government policy like Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is expected to boost exports, and the Make in India initiative that may see several foreign companies setting up manufacturing facilities in India. Now I talk about travel and vacations SBU. Travel. As the one of the largest travel and tour operators in the country, Bamalari Travel and Vacations provides end-to-end domestic and international travel services, including ticketing, tourism, and MICE-related services to its clients. COVID-19 had a massive impact on the travel industry in financial year 2020-21, with travel ban for a substantial period, domestic and international, along with customer uncertainty. It is difficult to state just how much the pandemic has devastated the revenues of airlines. The sector is expected to become smaller in years to come. As per industry, traffic won't return to 2019 levels before 2024. The sources from World Tourism Organization. The SBU has been the most severely impacted amongst all business under the COVID-19 crisis, and travel has come to a complete standstill effective March 2020. However, despite the SBU facing challenges in terms of changes in airline strategy to cut distribution costs, denial of segment fees by GDS, reduction in commission, and stiff competition by online portals and technology firms, it has strengthened its operations, sales, and software capabilities, increased its clientele, bringing more clients on SSBT, SBT. By offering holistic, cost-effective, customized services to corporate clients in order to reduce our operations cost. We have also tried to venture in private sector by delivering superior services to our customer. During these lean times, the travel vertical has not only been focused on improving the technology backbone, but also been in constant touch with the corporates and retail customers to communicate safe travel policies, destination information, and engage with them in the digital space. The SBU has explored the right network partners and has leveraged the in-demand technology to offer customers a bouquet of services. In the coming years, SBU TNV has also enhanced its visibility on the digital platforms and made it B2C site robust with all services available on the same platform. Various initiatives have been implemented, and the IT team is constantly assessing various tools to help the business stay ahead of competition. However, in view of future business operations and growth potential over the next 3 to 5 years, the SBU had undergone major internal restructuring in terms of creating 4 regional operational hubs for a lean and efficient business structure going forward. As a result of the business restructuring, the SBU has been able to save infrastructure and other fixed overheads by rupees 3.40 crores on annual basis. Going forward, the SBU is planning to create one hub centralized at Delhi in order to bring more efficiency and plug in any leakages. This will enable better service delivery and provision for relationship managers in all cities, which will ensure more sales of various products like hotel, cabs, insurance, etc. The SBU shall be supplementing the traditional strength of ticketing for government and PSU by penetrating into a diverse and much larger corporate customer base with complementary offerings such as accommodation, land, MICE services, etc., and emerge as a one-stop solution provider for an institution's travel and hospitality needs. Now I talk about vacations. The COVID-19 pandemic has placed the tourism industry under immense financial strain. Travel and tourism is undoubtedly one of the worst hit sectors. Though there was a significant drop of about 81% in the overall business compared to previous year, a relative growth of 20% in corporate business was achieved by vacations to make up for the shortfall in retail and MICE as a result of the challenging business environment. Significant industry slowdown in financial year 2020-21, the SBU has undergone major internal business restructuring and closure of 4 branches for a lean and efficient business structure, which has yielded a saving of around rupees 4.54 crores. Overall economic slowdown, state elections and higher airfare owing to the pandemic impacted both retail and business B2B sales. And in the current pandemic situation, people are avoiding group tours and continuing to go on solo trips. Hence, there were no GIT tours and FIT was restricted to a few countries as most of the borders were closed during the financial year 2021. Corporate business within India was also not stable due to periodic waves of pandemic hitting various regions. The vacation vertical tried to make virtual events and successfully entered in this segment. There were cancellation of booked tours and highly reduced forward booking pipelines. To exploit the opportunities, the vacations vertical is adeptly putting out domestic as well as international short-haul programs. During these testing times, the vertical has reached and accordingly planned strategic actions to grab the market once it opens. The products have been designed and manpower have been trained on online to deal with the changes in the industry. Through social media and proactive collaboration with the travel vertical, the marketing team is keeping the interest in the destination alive so that customers have a desire to travel there once the restrictions are lifted. Now I talk about refinery and oil field services, SBU RYFS. The SBU Refinery and Oil Services is engaged in the activity of mechanized oily sludge processing and hydrocarbon recovery from the crude oil storage tanks and lagoons. This activity pertaining to pollution prevention and oily waste recycling through recovery of hydrocarbons in a niche segment in the oil and gas industry. Due to the impact of COVID-19, there was a downturn in demand for sludge processing services in financial year 2020-21. The same can be attributed to several factors such as overall downturn in demand for petroleum products, lower crude prices in the international market, and also austerity measures employed by many clients, resulting in cutback in expenditures. The SBU continues to enjoy approximately 60% market share in the oily sludge processing segment in India. The renewed focus is on energy conservation and sustainable development is expected to result in stricter pollution control laws in the long term, acting as a catalyst for increased demand for waste of recycling services such as oily sludge processing, resulting in overall expansion of market demand. The SBU intends to leverage its experiences in project execution and wide base of satisfied clientele to foray into allied services area as tank overhauling, corrosion prevention services and tank cleaning through chemical process. The operational performance was at par with the previous year, mainly due to advance order booking for the SBU. The new order booking was sluggish due to reduced demand in the market. The demand for sludge processing services is expected to be lower in the near term. The market preference is positive to move towards technologies requiring minimal manual intervention such as closed loop system, robotic cleaning technologies, and online tank cleaning through chemical method. The SBU aims at maintain market leadership in the sludge processing space through technological upgradation and incorporation of new technologies for reducing processing time and manual intervention in sludge processing. Alternative processes such as chemical cleaning technology is also being explored for augmentation of service offerings. Overall financial performance. The company recorded a net turnover of rupees 15,92,076.79 lakhs during financial year 2021 as against 16,12,016.14 lakhs in financial year 2019-20. This is a decrease approximately 1.2% over last year. The company recorded a profit before tax of 156.64 crores in financial year 2021 as against 232.21 lakhs in financial year 2019-20. Sorry, 232.44 crores in financial year 19-20. The decrease is attributable to the COVID-19 pandemic and the performance of SBU Travel Vacations, which has been affected due to the same. Corporate governance. Corporate governance essentially balancing the interests of your company's many stakeholders such as shareholders, management, customers, suppliers, financiers, and the government and the community. Your company's culture, policies, relationship with stakeholders, and loyalty to values is reflected in the corporate governance report. Following are the 5 pillars of governance that the company conforms to as part of its commitment to adopt global best practices. High accountability to its stakeholders, absolute transparency in its reporting system and adherence to disclosure of compliances, high ethical standards in the conduct of business with due compliance of laws and regulations, enhancement in the stakeholders' value on consistent basis, contributing to the enrichment of quality of life of the community through discharge of corporate social responsibility and promotion of sustainable development. The Companies Act 2013 is being amended almost regularly. Similarly, listing regulations are also amended frequently. Your company is making best efforts to adapt and comply with the changing statutes and continues to comply with the corporate governance and guidelines norms to the extent within its control. Corporate social responsibility. Bamalari is committed to conducting its business in a socially responsible manner and be responsive to the needs of the society at large. Consistently, the organization has undertaken various CSR initiatives for the last few decades, driving sustainable development and growth for its stakeholders. In line with this, the company has been driving various projects independently around its units and establishments across the country, and has also been supporting various programs initiated by the Government of India like Clean India Mission and Skill Development Institutes. Bamalari's CSR initiatives are driven by two flagship programs, Bamalari Initiative for Self-Sustenance Bliss and Samaj Mein Bamalari Sambal. While the first program is directed providing and improving the long-term economic sustenance of the underprivileged, the second program aims at improving the living standards and quality of life of the population in and around company's area of operation. To extend its commitment towards a sustainable society, Bamalari has undertaken various innovative CSR programs. In March 2020, the Government of India declared COVID-19 crisis. As a responsible corporate citizen, Bamalari contributed rupees 100 lakhs from its CSR fund to the PM CARES fund so that our health system can be strengthened to fight against the pandemic. The company has also made efforts to construct a quarantine home at Ramakrishna Mission, Belur Math, Howrah to help communities during the pandemic as a part of its Swachh Bharat initiative. The company distributed masks, sanitizers, gloves, and other COVID-19 protective items to the disadvantaged communities in its operational areas. A total sum of rupees 514.15 lakhs was spent during the financial year 2020-21 towards CSR initiatives. I thank all of you for your presence here today. I will always look forward to your continued support and best wishes. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to convey you our sincere gratitude. I acknowledge the continued support and guidance of our Administrative Ministry, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India for the guidance and encouragement provided to your company. I also wish to thank other ministries of the Government of India and other government authorities for their cooperation. I would also like to thank our holding company, Bamalari Investments Limited, our valued shareholders, customers, vendors, business associates, bankers, financial institutions, and other stakeholders for their continued support and cooperation. Finally, I must convey my gratitude to my colleagues on the board for their wise counsel and valued involvement. Now, I take up the agenda items listed in the notice at the seriatim. Members may note that in accordance with the provision of Section 108 of the Companies Act 2013, read with the Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014 and the MCA circulars issued in this regard, the remote e-voting has already been carried out with respect to the items business from serial number 1 to 8 as stated in the notice, and the members have also been provided with the facility of voting by use of e-voting system for all those members who are present at the AGM through VC but have not cast their votes by availing the remote e-voting facility. The members who have casted their vote by remote e-voting prior to the AGM are entitled to attend the AGM only but shall not be entitled to cast their vote again at the AGM. The Board of Directors had appointed Mrs. Binita Pandey, partner of Messrs. T. Chatterjee and Associates, practicing company secretary, as scrutinizer to scrutinize the voting process for the AGM in a fair and transparent manner. Let us now move to the ordinary business as stated in the notice of AGM. Item number 1. To consider and adopt the audited financial results of the company, both standalone and consolidated for the financial year ended 31st March 2021, and the reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon for the financial year ended 31st March 2021 and other statements attached thereto, along with the comments of Comptroller and Auditor General of India thereon. The proposed ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that the audited financial statements of the company, both standalone and consolidated for the financial year ended 31st March 2021, together with reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon for the financial year ended 31st March 2021 and other statements attached thereto, along with comments of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India be and are hereby considered and adopted. I now request the members who have registered themselves as speakers to raise any query or issue arising out of the board report and the audited annual accounts. I request the members to be brief I also request the members to kindly identify themselves. Members are requested to confine their queries to the annual accounts, board's report, and the agenda of annual general meeting. Okay. Sri Jaideep Bakshi.
Yes, sir. I will unmute Mr. Jaideep Bakshi.
We will note
Good
down
afternoon,
the queries and
Chairman.
answer after the queries, please. Yeah, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Board of Directors. Myself, Jaideep Bakshi, connecting from the city of Kolkata. Thanks to our company secretary for giving an opportunity to express my view. So we are the largest company in industrial packaging. So how much is our market share at present? And regarding order book position for major players in lubrication and chemicals and food and oil, what is our position? So regarding the restrictions due to the sluggish auto market and industrial, not many to maximum capacity, how are our grease and lubricant sector affected? And congrats for the R&D activity. Your return to the society has always been great. And so logistic is the backbone in the company. So how much has been our revenue affected due to this lockdown? And are we planning for into automated and robotic material handling systems? So our products are indigenous and supports the initiative of our government of vocal for local and also have global presence. So any new product in our pipeline at present. So nothing to add more. I hope under your guidance and expertise of the board, our company will come out with more positive results and reward the shareholders handsomely. Thank you and all stay safe, sir.
Now I request Kaushik Shahukar.
Sir, we'll move forward towards the next speaker.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Kaushik, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Yeah. So at the outset, let me introduce myself as Kaushik Shahukar from Mumbai. Good afternoon to all. I hope I'm properly audible.
You are audible.
Yeah. Sir, it gives immense joy to see all our directors and our beloved chairman in our good health. When I see all the directors in good health, it reminds me of the saying that my grandparents told us: health is a wealth and money is immaterial. So the sayings hold good when we see all our directors in a fit and fine condition. So I also feel envy of our directors and pray to Almighty that if I get even 1% of their health, it will be really well for me. So anyways, professionally I am a chartered accountant. Medically I suffer from dystonia. In simple terms, 55% of my body is paralyzed and this impacted my right hand, my right leg and my speech. I have not however treated this as a hindrance. As I have mentioned before, despite my medical condition, I have successfully completed my chartered accountancy course as I strongly believe that I am self-reliant and self-dependent. I admire the virtues of Balmer Lowry that share the same principle of making people self-reliant. Through your ongoing and continuous philanthropic work, you have made and are making a positive change in the society. So, due to aforesaid, so you appreciate that in spite of my chronic condition, I still prefer to work to support me and my family, rather than accepting free money from someone. This shows that I am a self-reliant. I, so if our company can shower some, if our company can show some generosity and shower some blessings over me, it could change my life too. So if I hope supporting especially every person is a CSR activity for our company, and our company will be doing such selfless act. Due to aforesaid, I had previously approached our company to work in the certification area. Unfortunately, that has not progressed. I would therefore like to use the forum to reach out to you and explore avenues where we could work together. I am confident that you would find my professional acumen a value add to our esteemed organization and will empathize with my condition and support me with work. I recognize the efforts of a company to associate with me. But sir, what you have just given very small area. So if but I just I hope
Kaushik,
our
I want you
company
to be
can.
brief because there are a lot of other business to be done. I want you to be brief. Now let's close this. Basically, just tell one sentence and then let's close. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I hope
Yeah.
I was popular. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Ashit Kumar Pathak.
Yes, sir. Mr. Pathak? Mr. Pathak, please unmute.
Yeah. We will go to the next speaker, please.
Okay.
Santosh Kumar Saraf.
Yes. Sir, I
हाँ
think
जी
they will.
नमस्कार
Okay. Yes.
नमस्कार
Yes.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है
Yeah. अरे आपका
माननीय
आवाज आ
अध्यक्ष
रही है।
जी उपस्थित
जी सराफ जी,
छत्तीसगढ़ मेरे
नमस्कार।
शेर भाइयों बहनों मेरा नाम संतोष कुमार साहब है सर्वप्रथम
जी।
आप सभी को नमस्कार आशा करता हूँ आप सब स्वस्थ और अच्छे से होंगे सर सर
जी।
एक तो मैं उन भाइयों और बहनों के लिए संवेदना प्रकट करता हूँ जो हमें कोविड में छोड़ के चले गए भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति प्रदान करे उन्हें हिम्मत दे सर सर एक कैपेक्स प्लान क्या अपना बताने का कष्ट करिएगा फ्यूचर में और सर मैंने लेटर कल एक भेज दिया उसमें सब मेरी जो मेरे प्रश्न आज ही है मैं लिख के भेज दिए सर कैपेक्स
या हमारे
प्लान
पास
रेन
है,
वाटर हाँ बोलिए सर आपको मिल गया ना
मिल गया। हम
हाँ तो मैं ज्यादा कुछ नहीं एक बार फिर आप सबके आप सबके अच्छे स्वास्थ्य की कामना करता हूँ और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ आप लोग को लंबी उम्र दे और आप और आपका परिवार अच्छे से सुरक्षित रहे सर और इस 2021 आपके लिए हैप्पीनेस वेलनेस और प्रॉस्पेर रहे सर अब और सर वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग काफी इसको कंटिन्यू रखिए सर और फिजिकल मीटिंग जब करते हैं तो आप वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग कर रहे हैं इसमें कितना पैसे बचत हुई है मेरा एडिशनल पैसे बताने का करिएगा जय हिंद जय भारत नमस्कार सर और सर पाठक साहब इस दूसरी मीटिंग में वो आएंगे सर उनके लिए एक बार चांस दीजिएगा वो खादी में व्यस्त है अभी आने वाले सर मैं हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट है उनको दोबारा मौका दीजिएगा सर धन्यवाद
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर साहब, आपको हम डायरेक्टली रेस्पॉन्ड करेंगे आपका क्वेश्चंस को। धन्यवाद। राज राम जानकी श्री गोपाल महेश्वरी का भी क्वेश्चन है।
So
Yeah,
he is not present in the
already,
meeting.
yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, I have already sent my LinkedIn address. I don't want to waste other shareholders' time. Just two requests. One is the speech which was given. It was a long speech, and obviously you had to rush through it, given the paucity of time. So if it would be great if you can upload it either on the website of the company or on the exchanges.
It's already uploaded.
Okay, great. Thank you. And second is on in the last 7 to 8 years, the companies have profits have been fairly stagnant. I understand that FY21 was a COVID year and travel business was impacted. But even if we look FY20 as a base, then despite having number of business units, our profits have been fairly have not been growing. So apart from the questions which have already been sent over the next 3 to 4 years, how do you really see the business from a strategic end, that how you're building the business up and how the profits and sales of the company should grow? It would be great if you could give a sort of a part to that. Thank you.
Mr. Maheshwari, we have received your questions. We'll directly respond to you. And thank you. Sri Saket Kapoor.
हेलो हेलो
या आप ऑडिबल है,
जी सर
बोलिए।
नमस्कार नमस्कार सर
नमस्कार नमस्कार
and thank you sir firstly sir for this opportunity to speak to the dignitaries and So the very small point I would like to make forward is, sir, firstly, the type of businesses Bahman Lorry is into through. Do you think that, sir, is it only an AGM is the forum where you should be addressing your shareholders, taking queries from them, or just like your peers, whether it is the state PSUs or whether it is the CPSCs, they on a quarterly basis conducts con calls, press releases, and speak to the investor analyst community on a regular basis. Sir, just a forum or an AGM wherein you are reading, with all humility and respect to you, just reading the chairman's speech and do a formality it appears to us, sir. There should be a requisite forum, requisite timeline in which after every quarters we should be abreast with the issues in the company. So coming to the business profile, sir, taking into account the vagaries created by COVID and then after the logistic issues, how are we seeing the current year shaping up in terms of the different verticals of industrial packaging, logistic infrastructures, grease and lubricants, and also with EV in the annual, how are we looking at this grease and lubricant business going forward? And sir, as I repeat, we are provided with a time, and also in the respect of time of other shareholders, a minute or 2 minutes to just convey our thought. I request the board members, if Parin Devi madam is listening to me, ma'am, I have met you twice, in one at Bahman Lorry AGM and earlier at Chennai Petro, and the grievances with investors and shareholders remain the same, only the forum changes. I have been repeatedly asking my managements, including Bahman Lorry, to throw more insight, speak to investors, to break this wall of confidentiality of only speaking or only providing one annual document, sir. Deliberate on the view. You are in a listed space. You have shareholders to answer always. So please, board members, look into the merit of opening up the forum, allowing investors to speak on a continuous basis over quarter on quarter with release of press releases and detailed business updates. These are our rights, and the management is denying the minority shareholder of its rights. And I'm on record saying this. You kindly take note of it, deliberate on the same, and give us in writing why are you not doing what investors are expecting from you. And I can go along with 5-10 questions, but how does it will suffice when on a quarter basis we are getting our numbers? Why is the management not looking into the merits of speaking to its investors? Please, sir, with folded hands, I just opened my video. With folded hands, I am requesting the managerial team, sir, chairman साहब, इस aspects पे ध्यान दीजिए. आपके जो shareholders हैं, उनके वो बहुत active shareholders हैं. आप अपने peer comparison में जाके देखिए किस प्रकार से investors को ब्रीफ किया जाता है. एक AGM को आपने एक फोरम बना के रखा है जिसमें सर एक चंडी पार्ट की तरह आपने पूरा चेयरमैन स्पीच पढ़ दी और समझा कि बस इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए ये कोरम पूरा हो गया. सर, हमारे भी भावनाओं का आदर कीजिए और फोरम खोलिए और हमें मौका दीजिए अपनी कंपनी की ग्रोथ स्टोरी में प्रॉपर ढंग से पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए, और डेसिमेशन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन करेक्ट रहे, नॉट ओनली ये सिर्फ न्यूमेरिकल नंबर जो हमको मिलते हैं. सर, इस पर ध्यान दें सर, और मुझे अलग से कोई प्रश्न नहीं पूछना है. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू साकेत. Then Shri Hiranand Kotwani.
Good morning.
Good morning.
अरे गुड आफ्टरनून हो गया कलकत्ता में. It gives me great pleasure and pride to join this AGM because I am a shareholder in 1986. 100 rupees shares to trade. The only person with 1,000 trading at Bombay stock 100 rupees shares. मेरे को ये कंपनी ने कलकत्ता दिखाया साहब. Generally, I admire this company, and generally your chairman speech was very good. You are in hurry due to time constraint. You said one thing of recession. Once you said the decision, our market fell. How the recovery will come? Is there any visualization? Because it is a time period that COVID has hit. some blessing in disguise to some companies? Is it our any product which is a blessing in disguise? Because certainly chemical and the other product has been sharply increased the prices. How you see the recovery will come, profit will come? This company has great importance to me and sentimental. The last man said is one thing is very clear that only one AGM we will not speak well. It is very limited time. I couldn't attend Kolkata. Certainly convey my good wishes from Mumbai. Certainly I am opinion that I advise to your Bombay. You can shift the new Bombay 104 in Kolkata. At least you should shift your headquarters to New Mumbai or other place also. Some how you see the tour and travel. I very much concerned you would hit hard. Industrial packaging. You should elaborate the growth and profitability will come from that. Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck ahead. Limited time.
इसका साउंड नहीं आ रहा है।
अब नहीं आ रहा है? हेलो
मिस्टर कोटली, आपका आवाज ठीक से नहीं आया, लेकिन हमको समझ में आया आपका कंसर्न। थैंक यू सो मच, वी विल कंसंट्रेट ऑन दैट। या
अभी आप थोड़ा सा बोलो
ना, ठीक समझ में आया हमको। या द लास्ट स्पीकर इज हार्दिक जैन। हार्दिक जैन नहीं तो असित कुमार पाठक को लेंगे।
हेलो
या
हेलो सर,
हाँ जी बोलिए।
गुड आफ्टरनून।
गुड आफ्टरनून
Sir, I am a shareholder of your company and I am tracking this company since long. I have same grievances. Our company has not grown since last 5 years. We are giving so long speeches, and since last 5 years our company has not grown. So I just want to understand, being a PSU, what we are doing. We are just managing the things and everybody in the company is doing nothing. Since last 4-5 years our company has not grown at all. Neither in logistics, in nowhere. In 2015, our profits were more than 200 crores. Today, it is less than 100 crores. And we are doing nothing. So I have a lot of grievances against our company, and I feel that this is a junk company kind of company. We have more than 3,000 crores, 2,000 crores worth assets. And our company is not doing since last 5 years. We have not made a single portal in our tourism site. एक सिंगल पोर्टल भी नहीं बनाया है सर हमने। खाली हम बातें करते हैं बड़ी बड़ी और काम कुछ नहीं। So I'm as a shareholder, I'm not able to express my grief. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jain. असित कुमार पाठक ले लीजिए लास्ट, अगर वो है तो। असित कुमार पाठक। ठीक है, then we will try and answer these queries.
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
आप audible है?
Yes.
बोलिए।
Very good noon. At first, most welcome our company new chairman, and praying to God for your good health and everybody associated to Bamal Lorry Limited for respected chairman and MD, board of directors, company secretary, fellow members, joining at 104th AGM of Bamal Lorry and Company Limited. My name is Ashit Kumar Pathak. Thanks to company secretary Mrs. Kavita Bashbar and secretariat department for sending me the notice of the AGM and allow me to speak. And thanks to Mr. Sandeep Dubey also for his enhanced cooperation to members. Sir, financial year very optimistic, though we have passed a very pandemic COVID-19, and I am appreciating my company to be a debt-free company at first. Also, 100 lakh PM Care Fund donated and 514.50 lakhs in CSR activities. This is very natural. I am appreciating my company's management team. And profit after tax 116 crore against 177 crores. Very achievable performance and rewarding ₹6 as a dividend to members in this crisis period. Sir, I have some brief which I like to share. Any future plan for business diversification, and what step my company management team taken to travel and vaccination. My previous speaker also raised a valid point about this segment. And sir, impact in our grease and lubricant business for volatility of crude and petroleum prices. Also in chemical and logistics service due to pandemic, where export, import and shipping very impacted. Also, sir, so some highlight about future progression you mentioned, that is Logi Cold Chain Solutions. I noticed this is the very innovative drive you my company management team. And sir, the main reason for voluntarily winding up PL UK main business, where the leasing and hire purchase and marine freight, also containers to tea warehouse and blending and packaging. What positive step my company taking for VPL PL at financial year 21 making loss 12.59 crores. And in TSL concern, joint venture expected net financial loss from my company side, but that company also capital reduction and also reducing capital after 0.0003% to RA by the order of NCLT dated 9th April 2021. If possible, throw some highlights. Sir, presence, I know our company secretarial team is very standard and very efficient. So this is my slide view we like to share. Don't take it otherwise. Present status for BSE and NSE mentioned that is various penalties imposed due to non-compliance under SEBI LODR. So this to be concentrated, and this is the one time of leakage high also followed here. Cost reduction nicely achieved. Administration expenses reduced to 12.54% from 14.02. Very, very nice achievable. Also, financial expenditure reduced 0.37% from 0.58. Sir, why promoter group is not interested to buying my company's share? But central government, state government and President of India holds only 0.02%. Key reason behind it, because this company is very well asset-based company, previously rewarded with bonus share to members. So if possible, throw some highlights. Finally, in page 104, I noticed in independent auditors report, note 4230, company has not made any provision towards investment made in and loan given to subsidiary BPLP. If possible, throw some highlight about this. And note 23, other trade payable sundry creditors for expense 322.57 lakh of E&P division lying unpaid since long term. So some highlights about this. And finally, our inventories also had done previous year 160 crore against 145 crores previous year. So that is how we manage to lower down our inventory. If possible, throw some highlights. Nothing to say more. I feel to be a member of this company and praying to God, coming financial year will be more achievable financial performance by the leadership of you, sir. Thanking you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pathak. I will try and address the questions because most of the questions are repetitive or it's in the groups. So it will be answered. I mean, in one question answer, it becomes all questions will be answered in that. As somebody asked about IP market share, we have already told that we are having around 34% of market share. So there is nothing more to say. And as far as order book position is concerned, it is basically continuous. So we cannot measure now and then we will be month on month, it will be improving and then we'll be getting business and then selling it, right? And somebody asked about the COVID. I mean, they himself given the answer. Because of COVID effect, the turnover could not increase, and then especially the travel and vacations took a hit, and there is around 63 crores impact in the same business. So therefore, our profitability and our turnover both came down. So and then this year the prospects are looking brighter barring travel vacations, but other businesses are doing good. If the COVID pandemic is not going to hit us like what it did in the past, then this year we are going to do very good. So then somebody asked about GNL future plans and all, and we have already spoken in my speech many of the initiatives what we are planning, especially in logistics. We wanted to get into the cold chain, more of cold chain business, and also integrated logistics parks, and also concentrate on 3PL logistics. And in one sentence, it is going to be a one-stop solution for total logistics needs of the customers. And that's going to be our future plan in logistics. And GNL, we are going to concentrate with the focus on industrial, at the same time increase the base in retail. So that's how we are going to grow. And we are only having 2% of market share in GNL, and we can increase that market share easily to 4%. Coming back to our chemicals, I already told you, we are going to expand into agrochemicals and textiles and other businesses, so that there also we are going to increase our turnover. So then in logistics, again, multimodal logistics parks, maybe integrated logistics park, we are going to invest. And then as the time comes, this is as per our strategy plan, and then we would like to grow in those businesses. And somebody asked about Transsafe. Basically, it is under sub judice now. We are going for appeal against the order which is given by the respective NCLT. We are going to NCLAT. So till the time, I will not be able to comment anything. It is sub judice, right? Yeah, I hope other questions which have come to us directly, we will answer that. And then somewhere some people have expressed there is no interaction with investors. So my suggestion would be investors are free to approach management directly, and our company secretary department is also there, and we are also here. You can always approach us directly, and then we will resolve your grievances, your concerns. We will address that. Yeah, thank you. Now I will take up the item number 2. The next item in the notice is declaration of dividend. A dividend of ₹6 per equity share on the paid up share capital for the financial year ended 31st March 2021 has been recommended by the board of your company for declaration at this meeting. The proposed ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that in accordance with the recommendation of the board of directors, dividend at the rate of ₹6 per equity share for the financial year ended 31st March 2021 be and is hereby declared on this is 17 crores 10 lakhs 3,846 equity shares paid up value of ₹10 each of the company, and the same be paid out of the profits of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2021. The third item pertains to reappointment of Sri Adeep Nath Pal Chowdhury, DIN 086953222, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers himself for reappointment as director. The ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that Sri Adeep Nath Pal Chowdhury, DIN 086953222, a director retiring by rotation, be and is hereby reappointed as a director of the company, whose period of office shall be subject to retirement by rotation. The next item in agenda is to fix remuneration of the statutory auditors, including branch auditors, for the financial year 21-22. The proposed ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that pursuant to section 142 and other applicable provisions of the Companies Act 2013, the Board of Directors be and is hereby authorized to determine the amount of remuneration payable to the statutory auditors, including branch auditors, as and when appointed under section 139(5) and other applicable provisions of the Companies Act 2013 by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, including reimbursement of out-of-pocket expenses, if any, incurred by the said auditors in connection with the audit of annual accounts of the company for the financial year 2021-22. We now take up the special business for the meeting. I would request Sri Adeep Nath Pal Chowdhury, Director Service Business, to kindly conduct the proceedings for the 5th item.
The 5th item on the agenda is appointment of Sri Adhikar Ratnashekhar, DIN 080536337 as Chairman and Managing Director, additional charge. The proposed ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that pursuant to the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and allied rules, appointment of Sri Adhikar Ratnashekhar, DIN 080536337 as the Chairman and Managing Director within brackets additional charge of the company with effect from 1st of November 2020 to 31st of January 2021 pursuant to the letter number CA 31024/1/2020-PNG within brackets 35641 dated 6 January 2021 received from the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gases MOPNG Government of India and for a further period of 1 year with effect from 1st of February 2021 or till the appointment of a regular incumbent to the post or until further orders, whichever is the earliest, pursuant to the letter bearing reference number CA-31024/1/2020-PNG within brackets 35641 dated 20th April 2021 from MOPNG-B and is hereby approved on such terms and conditions as stated in the aforesaid letters from the Administrative Ministry. I would now request Sri Adhika Ratnashekar to kindly continue with the proceedings of the meeting.
Yeah, thank you. The next item on the agenda is appointment of Sri Kushagra Mittal DIN 090262446 as Government Nominee Director. The proposed ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that Sri Kushagra Mittal DIN number 090262446, who was appointed as an additional director as per the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and allied rules by the Board of Directors on 20th January 2021, and who holds office up to the 104th annual general meeting of the company, and the company having received a notice in writing from a member proposing his candidature for the office of director B and is hereby appointed as a government nominee director for a period of 3 years from 10th December 2020 on co-terminus basis or until further orders from the Administrative Ministry, whichever is earlier, and his office shall be subject to retirement of directors by rotation and other terms and conditions as contained in letter number C-3033/1/2016-CA/FTS-42979 dated 11th December 2020 received from the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India. Item number 7. The next item on the agenda is appointment of Srimati Perindevi Rao DIN 071455051 as Government Nominee Director. The proposed ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that Srimati Perindevi Rao DIN 071455051, who was appointed as an additional director as per the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and allied rules by the Board of Directors on 6th August 2021 and who holds office up to the 104th annual general meeting of the company, and the company having received a notice in writing from a member proposing her candidature for the office of director B and is hereby appointed as a government nominee director for a period of 3 years from 5th August 2021 on co-terminus basis or until further orders from the Administrative Ministry, whichever is earlier, and her office shall be subject to retirement of directors by rotation and other terms and conditions as contained in letter number C-31033/1/2016-CA/FTS:42979 dated 5th August 2021 received from the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India. Item number 8. Now the last item of the agenda is ratification of remuneration cost auditor for the financial year 21-22. The proposed ordinary resolution is as follows. Resolved that pursuant to the provisions of section 148(3) and other applicable provisions, if any, of the Companies Act 2013 read with Rule 14A(2) of the Companies Audit and Auditors Rule 2014 as amended, the remuneration of Messrs. SB and Associates Cost Accountants in Practice, firm registration number 000109, whose appointment and remuneration was recommended by the Audit Committee and approved by the Board and cost auditors to conduct the audit, the cost records maintained by the company for the financial year ending 31st March 2022 at rupees 1,25,999 plus taxes as applicable and reimbursement of out-of-pocket expenses at actuals if incurred by the said cost auditor in connection with the cost audit as aforesaid be and is hereby ratified. Resolved further that the Board of Directors of the company, including Audit Committee B, and is hereby authorized to do all acts and take all such steps as may be necessary, proper, or expedient to give effect to this resolution. Now that we have discussed all the items, I now declare the meeting as concluded. I would now request the members who have not cast their votes through remote e-voting to carry out the voting on resolution numbers 1 to 8. Please note that the results of the e-voting declared along with the scrutinizer's report shall be placed on the website of the company and also on the website of NSDL immediately after its declaration. Simultaneously, the same would also be forwarded to BSE Limited and National Stock Exchange of India Limited, where the equity shares of the company are listed. Any one of the distinguished members may now propose a vote of thanks. Abhishek.
I, Abhishek Lavdi, authorized representative of Bamlori Investments Limited, the holding company,